You know, we all have that dream of striking it rich with some world-changing, super glamorous idea. But what if I told you the real secret to wealth isn't exciting at all? What if it's hiding in the most overlooked and, yeah, kind of boring places you can imagine? So, when you picture a millionaire, what comes to mind? Probably some tech genius in Silicon Valley or a viral influencer, right? Well, what if that whole image is just wrong? Today, we're going to pull that myth apart. Look, we're all sort of conditioned to chase the glamour. We see it everywhere. The overnight success story, the world-changing idea. And that, right there, is the millionaire myth. And this myth, it always follows the same script, doesn't it? You're supposed to create the next viral app, or launch some must-have brand, or invent some piece of tech that changes everything. The one thing they all have in common? It's all about flash and being brand new. But if you pull back the curtain on how a lot of real fortunes are actually built, you find something completely different. It's a secret that's been hiding in plain sight, and it's rooted in things that are just, well, totally mundane. So the myth tells us to chase glamour, but the reality is often garbage. And I mean that literally. Think about things like laundromats or plumbing services. These are the essential, unsexy businesses that form the backbone of quiet, consistent, real wealth. Look, these businesses are never going to trend on social media. They're not going to land you on the cover of a magazine. But what they do is they generate predictable, steady cash flow, the kind of money you can sleep at night thinking about, with incredible consistency. So what's the secret here? Why are these dull-sounding businesses such incredible cash cows? Well, it all comes down to one really simple, really powerful economic principle. It's this simple. When an industry is exciting, everybody wants a piece of it. It becomes this magnet for entrepreneurs, for investors, for talent, all flooding into the exact same space. And what happens when a market gets that crowded? Well, competitors start slashing prices. They burn through cash on marketing. And before you know it, those juicy profit margins get squeezed down to almost nothing. The pie gets cut into 1,000 tiny little slices. But the complete opposite is true for boring businesses. Their very dullness acts like a natural force field. It creates a moat around the business. The lack of glamour keeps the crowds away, and that leaves the field wide open for anyone who's actually willing to do the work. I mean, seriously, think about it. Can you imagine bragging at a dinner party that you own a portable toilet company? Probably not, right? That little bit of social awkwardness is actually a powerful deterrent, and it's precisely why a business like that can be so profitable, because almost nobody else is trying to compete with you. Okay, so how does this actually work in the real world? Let's look at a quick example. Forget about apps for a second, and let's think about vending machines. Here's how one person built a little empire, one bag of chips at a time. The plan is it's beautiful in its simplicity. You start small with just 2 machines. Then you take the profits, you buy more machines, and you methodically scale up across the city. Before you know it, you own a whole fleet of these little cash-printing assets, and the only thing left on your to-do list is go to the bank. And the result of that simple plan? Over 100 machines. Now, each one is just a tiny, predictable stream of income. But when you put them all together, they create this river of cash that can easily rival a high-powered corporate salary. And think about what's not part of this story. There's no pressure to go viral. There's no expensive office to rent. There's no big team of developers to pay. It's just the simple, quiet, satisfying act of collecting your earnings. So, how can you actually apply this? Because this isn't just a story, it's a totally different framework for spotting the hidden opportunities that everyone else is just walking right past. It's about training your brain to see the amazing value in the mundane. So the core advantage, the real secret sauce of these businesses, is that they solve what we call evergreen problems. These are the fundamental human needs that existed 100 years ago, and guess what? They'll still be here 100 years from now, no matter what the latest tech trend is. I mean, just take a look at this list. People will always need to eat. Places will always need to be cleaned. Pipes are always going to leak. Stuff will always need to be packaged and stored and delivered. Every single one of these categories is a potential goldmine of boring business ideas. So while the rest of the world is getting distracted by the next shiny object, these quiet operators are patiently building real, lasting empires in the background. They do it without all the noise, without the hype, and a lot of the time without the burnout. So, That leaves us with one final question. What boring problem will you solve? Just look around you at the simple, recurring problems that people pay to fix every single day. Find the one that everyone else is ignoring. That might just be where your quiet fortune is waiting for you.